my soccer universe, this time to part 5 of this Euros jersey review. Yeah, I decided to do Group D before I do Group C, although I now have seen the Ukraine jersey and I could have done it, but I decided nah, we'll stay with this one. I actually think that this group is the one that most of my subscribers will be interested in. What are my thoughts, given that there's England and Scotland in there, but you know, I might be wrong there as well. It's definitely a very interesting group, to say the least. I decided to wear Scotland for this one, just because I think of all the jerseys that I have from the teams from this group, I like the Scotland jersey best. It's the 98 one, and actually, as we'll see, it is not too dissimilar to the one that Scotland has on offer right now. We'll start, of course, with the top team in this group, which will be England, then we'll go to Croatia, then we'll go to the Czech Republic, and then we'll finish up with Scotland, so we go all the way around there. I would say let's jump right into it, and we'll start, as I say, with the England home jersey that gets a lot of positive reviews, and I have to say, the minute I saw it, I got very quickly France 98 vibes. I'm wearing France 98 for Scotland. That's coincidence. And it's mainly down to two things, I think. First of all, the accents are like it was in 98, navy blue with a little bit of red, and also that everything is now centered there. Of course, we have the side flashes, which I really do not like. But I have to say, for an England jersey, I think overall it works quite well. But I don't know, making the swoosh then in this lighter blue that we have here on the 2018 version, also the three lions are a little bit lighter blue, and having this darker color, this is a little bit of a disconnect there in the overall appearance of the jersey. It is a little bit put right once you add the numbers, which also have a very heavy 98 feel to them. Of course, back then they didn't have all this, especially on the back, all these zigzaggy things that I'm not so crazy about, to be honest. But I think that just nails the point home. Yeah, we're making here jerseys heavily inspired by 98. So yeah, I think even the color is nice, although again, I don't quite understand the dip. It is not in any way a spectacular jersey. It is useful. They are just the two things that I said. That crest and the overall accenting of the jersey does not really work for my eye together. There are too many shades of blue. I think there's the one from the main accents, then there is the one from the crest with the three lions, and I even think that the Nike swoosh has a slightly darker blue than that one. So a little bit more unity there, I would have liked a lot. There's also not an outstanding feature on there, but on the other side, I would not expect it. And the other thing is that everything's centered. I'm never a huge fan of all centered stuff. I'd rather have it a little bit spread out, to be honest. But you know, decent jersey. The flash is also not my fan. Decent jersey. I think 7 stars. To me, I couldn't justify it, at least for myself, for going higher. And I've given this jersey much higher grade, but it had just a nice accent, I have to say. The away jersey is maybe not what you would expect in many ways, because it is blue. I have not seen a lot of England in blue. I think 1990, the third kit, the famous third kit, and I think this is clearly the inspiration behind that one. And of course, for me, almost the standout feature. Yeah, there was a navy blue one, 2014-ish, somewhere there. 16-ish, 17-ish, there it was. But you know, such a light blue I have not seen in a while for England. Enlighten me if you can point me to a more recent one than the ones that were worn was barely worn in the 90s. But clearly in the inspiration there, we have the three lion all over print, which I think is cool. I am not so, as I said, the standard feature, I wanted to say, the standard as a feature in my opinion is that the crest is recolored. We have now the lions in red on the blue base, which maybe fits with the theme of the jersey, and you know you want to get some red in. Not so crazy about it. I actually like the way the swoosh is done though. Just the outline, I think that is really, really, really nice. But where I think I'm not so happy about it is because if you look at names and numbers applied in white on it, and then the whole three lion crest in red, you wonder actually why. The numbers were in red. I think this would fit much better. If you would have kept the crest as is, I think it would not have been a bad thing. It would also look more cohesive, but then you would have to adjust the swoosh in a way. I do like the style of the jersey, and I always like good polo color on my soccer jerseys. Again, the flash is on the side. Not so crazy. The three lion print I think is pretty cool. I have to say that. So again, unusual color. Yeah, I understand it. It's maybe nice to have something different. But I think all of these things point towards something that a good jersey idea. But in the end, some few things I'm missing. I'm also gonna give this 7 stars. I think England overall has a strong look, but it's not a look that I would say is overwhelming, or tells me I really, really need to have this jersey right now. That I definitely have to say, but I also understand that you don't want to repeat another red jersey. Black jersey for Euro 2012, but that's not blue. Just saying. Okay, so Nike did well for England. However, for Croatia, again, I already hated the last iteration that they were at the World Cup and were super successful with it. And now, yeah, we repeat the very broad checkered pattern. And I'm so fed up with this because they had such beautiful jerseys for Euro 2016, probably the best ones in a long time. And then I went with the brute force white checkerboards. I understand you can nicely put the place the logos, and now of course we have to repeat this. We have to repeat everything about it. And actually I like it here, a very nice execution in a way. It's still a little bit too white, but then the details. That I think is still alright. But what is coming in the details is something that I'm really going, what were they thinking? Well, my major point of disappointment here is the absolutely asinine way of putting the collar. And this is a new Nike thing where I really think Nike is sometimes losing it. Yes, it's unconventional, but a square shape for the collar, and then you make it round, and then it's all slanted with the pattern. I mean, if the checkerboard pattern was also slanted that way, I think you could do something interesting with it. That would actually be in a way original. But that does not fit in any way. Also, the pattern on the sleeves, it doesn't really continue because there's then also this angled part. And then it really gets bad to me when I look at the back. Lettering already, I don't like it too angular, although it maybe fits with the jersey. But look how this is done. The collar goes then in a point on the back, which looks absolutely weird. Then we have an absolutely white back. And then the pattern continues below. And then you see the sleeves. This is not the pattern repeating. It's just some weird stitching together of stuff. It doesn't look right. I love the colors on it. I don't like the flashes here. I love the colors, don't get me wrong, but I think everything is just poorly done. It looks not good. I want to have a nice Croatia jersey again. As I said, the 2016 one I absolutely loved. They did something different. They had the finer pattern and they did something outstanding there. And before that, Croatia jerseys, maybe not everyone's cup of tea, but looked nice. But I have to say the last two iterations I really don't like. The one thing that redeems this one is the color scheme. Otherwise I would go 2 stars here. I really don't like it. And as I said, it is topped by the away jersey. I already hated the last one. And why do I hate it? Because for me, I like my Croatia jerseys, away jerseys, with this nice royal blue, and then you put somewhere the checkered pattern on there. This is such an iconic look to me that not getting this one is already hurting a lot. Now, look at this. Black and gray and kind of fading inside out, trying to be, smart about it, or too smart about it. I actually think if they would have done something like that for the home jersey, I might actually have given them some credit. I would not have necessarily really liked it, but I would have given them a little bit more credit. But the red flashes to really make this feature that I hate about the current Nike shirts stand out even more. And then, while I always love a full colored crest, but doesn't it stick out like a sore thumb? We have no checkered pattern on there, we have no blue on there, it just does not fit on there. It's a foreign object. This jersey is ugly beyond comprehension to me. Only rivaled by the Portugal away jersey. And when they played twice in this configuration against each other, I barely could watch this, although one of the games was really good. I barely could bear watching it. It's just horrible. At least they put white numbers in, but that with the red swoosh, nah, I really don't like it. I can tell you where this goes. 1 star. This is one of the worst jerseys at these Euros, and I'm afraid we will see this way too often, unfortunately. Let's go to something a little bit more traditional. This is a Czech home jersey, where I also have a little bit of a bone to pick. I mean, this is crafted by culture. I actually like the very simplistic nature of this shirt, especially with the crew neck collar. However, I do not like the choice of the blue. This very, very dark steely blue does not fit well. And if you have it, then please take the blue from the crest and adjust it. Those two need to fit. The crest, I know now that they use this so-called lesser crest from the Czech Republic. I'm still mourning a little bit the one where they had the full, with the 2 lions and the 2 eagles on there, which was one of the coolest ones, of course. This one is much easier to reproduce in an internet age, get a thumbnail from it. But overall, except for the blues, I think it is alright. It also has a rather intricate pattern in there, which I honestly would like to know the inspiration behind, because I'm sure this is not just randomly put there. The Czech culture is too rich for that to ignore it that way. So I find it interesting, but it's overall rather plain. White numbers on the back in the typically rather narrow Puma style. Also, all right. As I said, I find it I find it not offensive. I don't find it great. I think the pattern is interesting on there, but we see a little bit too little of it. So I would say 5 stars. And then we get to the away jerseys. I'm sorry, Czech Republic, you got really done in by Puma. The original one, which has the same wavy labyrinthy pattern on there, was in linden green, which is almost yellowish with black. And the linden green is probably, they wanted to give some youthful color. I understand this, but with the black, you suck the life out of it. I wonder, couldn't you have chosen anything different to accentuate this jersey? And then it is not a traditional color. It was one of those jerseys where I really thought, Puma, what are you thinking? And especially this very light, almost yellowish green, together with the black. Horrible. 2 stars. And so we have a very unique situation that actually Puma's new away jersey is an improvement over the previous one. Not really, but it really is, if you know what I mean. The style, rather plain, but I think for the Czechs they have done overall almost a good job. The style is minimalistic. It's the same thing as a Switzerland jersey, and with the Switzerland jersey I really wonder why the language used for the country's name. Why not Czech? Why do you do it in English? Makes no sense whatsoever. Absolutely no sense. The whole striping, I understand it might be great for doing sports to have it so minimal, but give me something to look at. And the teeny tiny crest that I have to look with a magnifying glass, doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. But I would argue it is an improvement over the previous one, because we have the national colors on it. We have white, we have a little bit red, we have a little bit blue. So in that sense, it's fine. As I said, it's not all that bad. I go the Switzerland route with it. I actually like it's a little bit more color on there. So I'm gonna give this 3-star, but I would actually edge it above the Switzerland jersey because there is a little bit more color on it. Still not a good jersey. Yeah, a little bit more color comes also from the numbers that are in white. So yeah, you know, I can live with it. But it's still a 3-star jersey, to be honest. And look at this one a little bit with the horizontal lines. We have the same thing here on this edition by Adidas. I think the big sticking point here is that Adidas issued navy shorts with that one, as far as I can recall, or something like that. Also the what should be flags, the colors in red and white also, yeah, it looks a little bit too much grafted on, too little Scottish. I think you should have gone with maybe, you know, some cuffs like this, put the tartan pattern on there or whatever. But Scotland jerseys I never dislike because I like navy blue. So you really have to mess up for me to dislike a Scotland jersey. Just I'm even willing to look past the red and the white. I actually like these horizontal bands that are on the jersey. It gives you some interest to look at. I do see them mismatched from the sleeve to the torso. This is something that could be done better. As for the crest, I got used to this this new one, but then I got this jersey and I was reminded of how great the Scottish old crest was. The circle around it, yeah, I know, modern age, blah blah blah, but there's something really nice about the way doing it this way. Just my few cents on it. I overall think it is a pleasing looking jersey. I think beating Serbia in that one away from home was also something that will make this jersey stand out a little bit more, and for that reason I think might be the best in this group. I'm gonna give this 8 stars. Argue with me, but I think it's a decent looking shirt. And I have to say the away jersey is something very special. I mean, this is basically last season's Ajax away jersey, but with a much gentler tone, which maybe makes it not pop as much, but I think it's done quite well. I really like this template. The one thing is for Ajax, I always think of this template as a, you know, recreated version of what they were trying in 88. And so for Ajax that fit rather well because you always imagine something Dutch with it. However, the Scottish FA with Adidas have taken, because they have tried to use this, to recreate this pattern somehow in 2018 already. Adidas didn't put it on a Scotland jersey, which doesn't make much sense in many ways because to me, as much as maybe there is some kinship among the fans between Scotland and the Netherlands, in terms of play and influence into at least to the modern game, there couldn't be a bigger contrast there. So that's why these Dutch patterns are a little bit weird on a Scotland jersey. However, taking all that out, it is a template that I actually do like. And I even think it is really well done to take the lighter blue and then have the navy accents. It actually fits nicely together. I can see that some might like this one better than the Ajax one. For that reason, I'm, yeah, slight below. I think the Ajax one I gave 9 stars. I will do the same here, but I would rate it slightly below that one. But yeah, this is now the best jersey in this group, and Scotland might well be one of the best dressed teams in the whole Euros. In any case, I want to know your opinion on these jerseys, where you agree or disagree with me. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel to see more, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hey, just in case you enjoyed this video, here are some videos and playlists that you actually might enjoy too. Also, please consider following me on social media and actually subscribe to my channel so that you stay updated with everything that happens in my soccer universe. And with that, have a wonderful day. Bye.